Now welcome back to my product evaluations YouTube channel. Today we're going to compare three clips. We've got this Pennamed clip, which is might be little known. We're going to compare it with a Meditalia clip called Clipy, and the third piece of gear to compare is the SureClip, which you've probably heard of because it's advertised in most endoscopy journals. So it's those three. I guess you've heard of the SureClip, but you're going to hear more, I think, of the Meditalia clip, because they're going to be marketed by Aqualent, which is UK's Fujifilm. I don't know why Fujifilm can't develop their own kit. Why they have to kind of nuzzle up to this company. Maybe I think they're based in Sicily. Actually, the kit is made in China, like everywhere else, but the actual headquarters of the Meditalia range is in Sicily. So why doesn't Fuji kind of come up with their own kit? I don't quite get it, to be honest. Anyway, now, as before, we're going to compare the normal 6 domains. We're going to compare jaw strength, basically how easy it is to deform the jaw of the clip, control and maneuverability, tail sizes rather than dimensions, because most of these clips, apart from the Viper clip, comes in a range of different sizes. Drag down the biopsy channel, grip, which I measure on a piece of cloth, and price. Those are the 6 domains. Let's battle begin. Now, first of all, I measured the jaw strength, and this Pennamed clip turns out to be a little bit of a lightweight in this department. You can tell that the jaws are quite flimsy, and it only took a force of 0.12 newtons to deform it, which compares to 0.29 newtons for the Meditalia's Clipper clip. But hands down, it is actually the SureClip which wins the day. It took 0.49 newtons to deform a short clip, which got, as most of these clips, got a slightly kind of arched jaws to give it additional strength. But to put that in perspective, though, there's somehow middle of the range kind of strength of the jaw. The SureClip is beaten both by the Boston 360 and the Cook's Instinct clip, which are stronger in the jaw than the SureClip. So it's by no means kind of the market leader in this regard. Round 2, control and maneuverability. And the way let me show you how I actually do this, because you can of course measure this yourself at the booth or whatever. If a rep comes and give you the clip to kind of try, here's the SureClip, just for kind of illustration purposes. The way I do it, I put a kind of 4-inch diameter loop. Let's see if the camera can see that. 4-inch diameter loop like this, and then I check that the clip, in spite of this kind of torture, can still at the other end still open and close. So I kind of open and close it, open and close it. Yeah, can it still rotate? Yes, it can do that. And then for the top of the range clips with the best maneuverability, they can actually manage five of these loops and still rotate, still open, still close. Okay, so you can do that yourself at a booth, the way of testing them. Now again, the Pennamed clip didn't really do very well. It could do 2 twists. It could do 2 twists, 4 inches diameter, but it couldn't actually. It could do three twists, but it couldn't do 4 twists. The Clipy Meditalia's Clipper clip could do 4 loops, but couldn't do 5. But somewhat surprisingly, the SureClip could do 5 twists. That's excellent. That's somewhat unexpected, and that equals the Olympus QuickClip Pro, which can also do 5 twists and still open, still close, and rotate, and the Cook Instinct clip, which can also cope with 5 tight twists on the shaft like that. So that was a pleasing but unexpected finding. Good on you, SureClip. Now drag I measure by measuring basically the amount of drag down the colonoscope. How much resistant is there to inserting? And to be honest, it's a bit of a lightweight round this because they all come with a lovely slippery coating. So there's nothing much really to set them apart. All of them. Perhaps the Pennamed had a bit more resistance. So maybe with the Pennamed clip, you might be a little bit more difficult if you're on a tight bend with too sharp twist on the handle to get kind of around the bend. The length of the clip, I think, also contributes a little bit to the difficulty in shoving it down. So the Pennamed was a little bit behind, but both the SureClip and the Clipper clip, they performed as well as any other clip there is on the market. So there was, I think we're going to declare this round an even heat, really. Now dimensions, round number 4. I used to measure the kind of the width of the span as well as the length of the tail, but actually because the span width now is most clips comes in different sizes, and you know there is an argument I think for having, say, a long clip 16-17 millimeters long, a middle of the range one say 10-11 millimeters long, and perhaps a very short one 3 millimeters long for that very fibrosed peptic ulcer that you want to put a short, immensely strong little clip just across the vessel, which is actually situated inside the fibrous tissue below the surface. So you need a short, stubby, immensely strong clip for that, like the old Olympus Hemo clip used to be, which is not even on sale anymore in the UK. That kind of clip. So there's an argument for having different sizes. But for the moment, we are comparing the tail sizes, and there's no doubt about it. This SureClip wins today. It's got the shortest tail on the market. I measured it at 5 millimeters, which is way shorter than anything else. That was closely followed by the Meditalia's Clipper clip, which had, I think, measured 7 millimeters, which is brilliant as well. I think that's the second on the market. The Pennamed was a bit longer. It was 11 millimeters. So that's as you see on this picture here, I've lined all the clips that I can find on the market side by side, and you can see how much shorter the SureClip is to the others, and how awfully long the Boston 360 is. You know, 11-12 millimeters, guys. That's too long. That's too long. What happens, you see, as you put a clip in the first clip in, that's great. By the way, the first clip should always go in the most awkward of the places because it's the easiest one to place. When you come with a second clip, the first clip you'll find is now in the way. It's part of the problem. So that's the reason you always put the first clip in the most difficult of the positions. But of course, if you've got a 12 millimeters tail sticking out, now you've got a 12 millimeter problem there. Whilst with the SureClip, you've got a 5 millimeter problem. Much easier to deal with. Much easier to nozzle the second clip in next to the first one. So guys, you should make shorter tails. The Boston 360, the Pennamed and the Quick Clip Pros, you're too long in the tail, guys. You're too long in the tail. Anyway, enough said about tails. Round 5, the grip. And the way I measure the grip is I basically attach the clip to the side of a theatre gown, which is kind of slippery, and then I measure how much force it takes to pull the clip off the theatre gown. And the theatre gown is kind of somewhat slippery. Now that turned out to be more or less the same with all 3 clips. They're all kind of middle of the range, reasonable bite, strength of the kind of the hold, the grip. The round was a draw, but none of the 3 clips that I'm testing today came any close to the Endoscopy Viper clips, which got a fierce bite, the Boston 360, or even the Cook Instinct clip. Those 3 clips do have a better bite, and I like the bite. If the clip falls off, that's when I get the late bleed. So I want my clip to hold on hard. In fact, that's actually the core function of the clip, isn't it? So I value grip probably highest of all the features of a clip. So all 3 are okay, but they're not as good as the market leaders in market leaders as far as grip is concerned. Price then. Well, you should bear in mind here that the price we get quoted in Leeds might very well be a very different price to what you quoted at your unit. You see, in Leeds we remove about 2,000 polyps from the lower GI tract every year, and we place around 1,000 clips a year. I think that's too few, to be honest. I think if we remove 2,000 polyps, we should probably place 2,000 clips. You know, why wouldn't you? You want to do the right thing, don't you? You don't want late bleeding and stuff. If you put a bit more heat on it, you don't want a late perforation. No, you don't. And for the sake of a cheap clip, that's a good little insurance. Anyway, we use about 1,000 clips. That's a lot of clips. If you're purchasing 1,000 clips a year, you have a bit of bargaining clout with the manufacturers, you see, which you may not have in a little unit that you use 63 clips a year. So bear that in mind when you give your local rep hell about the outrageous prices quoting you, because it might be different in different units. You get it, don't you? Anyway, for the SureClips, we are quoted £37 for the 11mm gap width and £48, I think from memory, for the 16mm gap width. So that puts it in the kind of the price range of the Boston, the Quick Clip Pros, the Cook Instinct clips. Whilst the small SureClip is still a bit more expensive than the Viper clips that we currently use, which is £30. The Meditalia clip, they're quoting us £78 for the Meditalia Clipper clip. Dream on, Meditalia. And for the Pennamed, cheap and cheerful, they say, well, they're a bit vague on the price actually, but they say we could probably get them for about 30, 32, maybe less. And I want them less, you know. I want these clips to be, I don't know, £5. Yeah, sounds reasonable. £5, same as a biopsy forceps. It's the same kind of amount of engineering that goes into one of these, I think, as a biopsy forceps. I guess it's just scale that makes them more expensive. The actual engineering, presumably, can't be. Well, the manufacturing process can't be any more expensive for a clip versus a biopsy forceps, I wouldn't have thought. Now the final scores are in. Out of the 3 clips we tested today, it's the SureClip that wins today. However, I think it's only fair to put these 3 clips into context of the marketplace to kind of compare the features of the other clips that you can purchase out there. And you can see from this table here that you know, grip is probably the ones I can measure the strongest is the Viper and the Boston 360. The jaw strength, which of course is important because you hook one jaw underneath one fold and then kind of pull it across the mucosal defect to try to kind of grab the other side without the jaw kind of giving away and bending. And I find then that it's the 360 and the Cook Instinct in particular, which are the strongest in that regard. The price, the cheapest clips at the moment I can get on the market is the Viper and the SureClip, and the Pennamed clip, of course, probably is going to be maybe the market leader in price. Tail size, that's the SureClip that wins today, 5mm unrivaled. And then you have the control with the Instinct, the Quick Clip Pro and the Clipper clip. You can do 5 twists, 5 4-inch diameter twists, and the clip will still perform. So that will work as well as anything out there in an awkward position, and usually you find yourself in an awkward position. So, you know, on the table here you can see it's difficult really to choose between these clips out there. But for that reason, I don't like to do this, but I have to add what I don't like about certain clips. And if I add that, I must say, I don't like the tail size on the Boston 360. It is just far too long. It's too unwieldy. It's in my way. If I'm going to place more than one clip, it's difficult. I don't like that. But I do like the short tail size of the SureClip. The Quick Clip Pro, I don't like the tail size, and I don't like the release mechanism. You see, what you have to do with that one is close the handle, which kind of deploys the clip, and then you have to open your system has to open a hand again to release the clip, and that is completely counterintuitive because all the other clips on the market, you close the clips, deploy, release, and you just pull it out. So what of course happens, your nurse will will close the clip and then pull out, and of course you then pull the clip off, which could be disastrous. So I don't like the Olympus QuickClip Pro release mechanism. I'm sorry, guys. So for that reason, that gives you a minus. So you can see on the table, which has now changed a little bit, that my standard clip that I use currently, it's the Viper. I like the strong grip of it, and I like the price. However, the SureClip is good. If the price of the SureClip could just come down a bit, I might very well swap. Because the other thing that the SureClip can do is got, and I think it does make a difference. Instead of kind of closing and opening like that, like most clips do, they kind of retract and pull in and close. The SureClip has got more of a pivoting mechanism, like a biopsy forceps, which means that if you're a bit of an angle to kind of catch something, and you've got one lip grab like that, as you then close to deploy the clip, you know that it moves in, so you have to push hard forward to kind of grab the distal bit, so to speak. You don't have to push as hard with the short clip, because as they close like that, they don't retract back in, and you're more likely to catch that elusive distal edge. So for that reason, the SureClip might turn out one day, if it just could come down in price, to be my go-to clip. But at the moment, Viper remains my go-to clip. However, when the chips are down and I really want a clip I can rely on, because I now are perforated or it's really bled badly and I really don't want that bleeding to restart again, I find myself going to the Cook Instinct clip as my most reliable gold standard clip when the chips are down. So you got two winners in effect. You got the Viper for a standard clip, and you got the Cook Instinct clip for the go-to clip when the chips are down. Thank you very much.